Hey Darcy, how's it going?
It's going good today, Michelle.
Yeah.
Happy Monday!
Happy Monday to you. It's our second installment of Dinner with me, Michelle, the health coach, and Darcy. And has anybody hopped on yet?
Yes, Mark Wimberly Holmes is here.
Oh, hey. Mark is in Ventura, California. He's a friend of mine.
Ooh,
Yeah,
California.
and Mark, I'm going to be up that way the August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I think is what I'm going to do. So hopefully I'll get to see you on that trip. So Darcy had this idea she wanted me to show her, and while I was showing her, she said I should be showing everybody else how to make really quick, easy, healthy meals. And so last couple weeks ago, I showed her how, and you all, whoever joined us, how to do a low-carb pasta dish with tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and shrimp. And I used the shirataki noodles, the Lviva noodles, and garlic, and some fresh basil. I think I threw some capers in there, a little bit of lemon, a little lemon zest. And we also made artichokes in the Instant Pot. And haven't you since made artichokes?
I was actually with people, Michelle, on Saturday, and we made artichokes in the Instapot based on your inspiration.
So you showed them how to do it?
Yes, indeed. And I actually got out the FaceTime.
Hello!
This is Darcy.
And happy Monday to everybody. Yes, Michelle, based on what you had taught me, I was able to teach others, and we actually had artichokes.
So they turned out good?
They turned out awesome. A lot of vitamins, as you had said, and again, it's about the immune system, right?
Right.
It's all about building the immune system.
Healthy food that builds a healthy immune system.
Yes.
And so, do you know how long you cooked them for?
These were larger artichokes. They didn't follow the direction that you had said. The 4 you get in a nice pack at Trader Joe's. They went with 3 of the bigger. And my friend Lisa is pretty.
She's got a green thumb.
She's got a green thumb, but she actually stuffed them in the Instapot, and it was pretty tough stuff.
Yeah, that's
so
okay.
if you follow your direction, it's a lot easier to cook 4 of the smaller ones. They perfectly fit in the Instapot.
Do you know how much time she did?
I told her to do 14. I said, you know what? Because you did like 10.
I did 12, and then I should have done a tiny bit less. But and they turned out good.
Yes, but I will tell you, there were some that could have cooked a little longer.
Oh,
so
okay.
now that you did 12, because I thought you did 10, we were watching the video, but we weren't paying attention.
I think like here in Utah, it's like 20 minutes for those big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think they would have been
Or
better.
maybe 14, maybe 17, 18 minutes, yeah.
But they were good, and of course, I love dipping them in the butter.
Oh, yeah. I didn't give you butter.
That's true, you didn't. That's something we added on.
All right, so
We didn't dip the butter?
we didn't. No, I just because the juice with the lemon juice
Yes, you're right.
and the olive oil, to me that's enough. So
It was enough. It was enough, but it's
my family likes either mayo or some kind of mayo concoction or butter or something, but to me, I put enough olive oil and stuff on it that that's enough for me.
You're right. Look, I'm already deviating off the track.
So,
Well, Michelle, what do you got cooking for us today?
yeah, so it's kind of clean out the refrigerator. I had a bunch of vegetables I hadn't used yet, and then I bought some tomatoes, and I was going to make something totally different, but I went to Costco yesterday, and the sockeye salmon, the wild sockeye salmon, is in season. So I texted you to make sure you liked salmon,
And I love salmon.
and so we switched gears, and I bought salmon. So we will
Michelle,
get
the color in that is
I know,
absolutely
isn't that
amazing.
beautiful?
Does color matter?
Yes. So when you see the farmed salmon, it's a really, really kind of light orangey color, and you see these big streaks of white in them, and that's fat. And when the salmon lives in its natural habitat, it gets this nice orange flesh, and it's full of astaxanthin. That's actually what makes it so orange. And when they farm salmon, they actually have to put color in the salmon feed or else it will look like pale gray. It will look disgusting.
Really?
And they also have to put things in the salmon feed like antibiotics because they're all close together and they get sick. And it's disgusting what they have to put. So I never eat unless somebody serves it to me and I'm being polite. But you always want wild salmon. It's just so much healthier.
You know, I learned this in your health class about farm-raised salmon and an awareness of the restaurants. I'm sure they'd like to know, when you go out to eat, because you're not willing to put in the little bit of time it takes to do a healthy meal like me, or I'm learning from Michelle, tell me about when you go out to eat, what are they serving us when you think you're getting salmon?
Mostly Atlantic farm-raised salmon. So if it says Atlantic salmon on the menu, it is 99.9% farm-raised. And you want to ask if it's wild, and if they don't know, then they go back, then it's almost always not wild. If it's like the special of the day, and they say wild salmon, then it's wild. But if it's like something that's on the menu all year round, because these wild fish, these wild salmon, you only get them in the summertime. You start getting them in June, the end of June, and then towards the end of the summer, you'll see like the coho salmon at Costco, and you'll see the king salmon, I think is like the later in the season, but you want to always stick with the salmon.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to clean out the refrigerator and we're going to make a 1-pan meal, and it should only take like 15 minutes in the oven. This is kind of a thin piece of salmon because I didn't want to get a ton. If I have a lot, if I do get a bigger piece, I'll cut them up into like individual serving sizes and then I will freeze them. But
And where's your favorite place to get the salmon?
actually Costco.
Costco.
Yeah, they have the best price and the best supply.
And only because some people might think, again, cooking healthy costs a lot of money. I know that's the
I
perception
think
out
this is
there.
like $13 a pound. What does it say?
Yeah, so it's $22.10,
It's a little over 1.5 pounds.
but this is enough for how many people would you say?
Well, I took a little bit off last night and I made almost the same thing that I made with you with the shrimp, but I used salmon. I actually took the skin off and chopped it up and threw it in the pan, but I did the tomatoes and the garlic and the capers. And
Can we talk about the skin? Because the skin has nutritional value.
it does.
correct?
Do you like the skin?
How do you feel about the skin?
I eat it sometimes. I usually cook it with it on.
Okay, because I know some people feel like it's kind of like a potato chip, but it's a healthy potato chip.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like take the skin off and I'll crisp up both sides in the pan and make it, like when you don't like sushi, but in a Japanese restaurant, you can ask for like salmon skin roll, and they actually take the skin off the salmon and then they crisp it in like a toaster oven, so it's super like a potato chip. It's good. Yeah. But really, any kind of oil will oxidize, so when you're heating it up that much in order to get it that crispy, it's not the healthiest thing, really. It just tastes good.
If it's some people out there today in good old
Facebook land,
and they're one person, that's a lot of salmon. So
Yeah.
what do you recommend they do? Like, they buy it and you got to use it within a couple of days, right?
Yeah, so I'll cut it up in like individual portions, and then I will put a piece of parchment paper in the middle, and then stick it in the freezer in a plastic Ziploc bag, so they're easy to take out as many pieces as you want.
What a great suggestion.
So,
Thank you,
so
Michelle.
we'll put that there until I'm going to do the vegetables first. So, like I said, I was kind of cleaning out the refrigerator. So these are from your crudité from my sister's a week and a half ago that you brought over. Remember, I brought some vegetables home.
Yep.
So, and then I wanted to do asparagus, but Winco is having a supply problem, so I'm just going to cut these. I want them to cook quickly because that salmon's going to cook quickly because it's thin. And so I'm just going to cut some These florets up.
Now, how do you feel about like the stalks? Like if you had the broccoli with a stalk, do you feel there's just as much nutrition in the stalk?
I like the stalks. Yeah. If I'm fermenting vegetables, I like to save the stalks and chop them up for one of my ferment mixtures.
One thing I was sharing with Michelle yesterday is I had the beautiful gift of going into a garden on Saturday. One of my dear friends' relatives has a 30-foot by probably 50-foot or more garden, and we ate fresh green beans, and we ate zucchini, and
Straight off the plant.
straight off, like picked and into mouth, like you can't get, farm to mouth, right? And Michelle was talking about that and how wonderful that is. So any of your buddies that have gardens, make sure you give them a call and let them know that you're there for any excess, right?
Mark has a good friend that gives him tons of beautiful vegetables, and that's one of the things I miss about California and the Central Coast, because they grow so many things year round,
Right.
and you don't have that here. So I really miss that. Things like beets and broccoli and lettuces and there's all kinds of stuff that grows year round.
Now I see you're putting some tomatoes in there with a
I am. So I got these yesterday. They had the organic grape tomatoes at Costco, so I bought those.
Do you like to buy organic when it comes to tomatoes?
Yes, that's on the Dirty Dozen list. They put to use a lot of pesticides, or they're genetically modified, and so I always buy organic when it's tomatoes. So I'm using this bowl because I'm going to toss the seasoning and the oil, and then I can use less oil. If I do it on the pan, I find that I have to use a lot more oil.
So is there a favorite place you like to eat your tomatoes?
Well, since I don't have a farmer's market nearby, or I haven't been to one yet since they opened up. For the grape tomatoes, I get them at Trader Joe's or Costco when they have organic.
And I see you're into that fennel. I never ever thought fennel was other than a spice. And
Have you
now-
tried it raw?
You know what? I'm going to right now. Okay. Bottoms up, Michelle.
Yeah. You like it? It's got a different flavor than when you cook it. Can you taste the licoricey flavor? That goes away when
It does have a light
you cook
licorice
it.
taste.
Now,
talk about the nutrition of fennel. I never ever was raised on fennel. My mother, may she rest in peace, which I know she is, never once cooked anything with fennel. Ever.
I had Sicilian grandparents, and I remember they would cut it up as a snack, like before dinner.
And you would just serve it just fennel.
Just serve it raw. And actually, they never cooked it. I didn't learn how to cook it until I went to Italy, and my sister took a cooking class. Would you like another piece?
Well, thank you.
And she learned how to make a fennel gratin or gratinade, and I have that in my weird vegetable video. Do you remember that one? And I ended up making that. Oh, and you got it. I brought it over to Stacy and Joe's.
And it was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Who would have ever known making a fennel gratin?
Yeah. So you just slice it up thin.
It was delicious. How did you make it?
Slice it up like a 1/4 inch lengthwise so it didn't fall apart. And then I kind of layered it or overlapped it in a baking dish. I dotted each piece with a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, heavy cream, and then Parmesan cheese, and you bake it until it's tender.
It was delightful.
So good.
I often think of just gratin. I think of potatoes gratin, right? But this was something healthy. And what are we known, like bees, or what kind of vitamins are in a fennel?
There's magnesium and vitamin C. Do you like shallots? So I have, not shallots, I'm gonna think of this.
Leeks.
I actually meant to buy a red onion and I forgot. And then when I was cleaning out the refrigerator, I saw, oh good, I have a leak.
I don't know if anybody out there today who's watching us is like a creature of habit. You use the same stuff over and over and over again. Again, you're tying in fennel, you're tying in leek, different things. Oh, and more scraps for me to eat.
Scraps. She only gets the scraps.
I work for food. Very good.
Do you like mushrooms?
Absolutely.
I've run into a few people lately. It's actually my friend Lynn is coming over for dinner on Thursday, and I said, I talked to her today, and I said, do you like mushrooms? She says, well, if they're big enough to pick out, I'm okay with it. So I thought, okay, well.
That's a passive aggressive way of saying, no, I don't. If they're big enough to pick out. Well,
Yeah.
I do, and there's a lot of vitamins in mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I like them well cleaned, right? And I know that Michelle has cleaned
Well,
mushrooms.
I haven't. So I don't, when you rinse them with water, they can, especially these kind of mushrooms, they can get soaked. So I just brush them off with a paper towel. You don't really need to clean them that well.
Well, that's excellent advice because
Yeah.
I've probably been taking the nutrients out of them because I've been soaking them in water.
Well, it's not so much that you take the nutrients out, they just get mushy.
That is true. So
Yeah.
now what type of mushrooms are those?
These are just white button mushrooms and they need to be used up quick or else they're gonna die.
White button mushrooms. And
Yeah.
your favorite place to get these white button mushrooms?
Oh, anywhere. It's not something you need to get organic and wherever.
Mushrooms do not need to be organic.
Now they grow them in like a hot house and it's not, they don't really attract bugs and so
No.
you don't have to clean them that well. You just need to kind of brush the dirt they grow in.
Well, I've also heard that dirt is actually pretty good for our
Dirt is
immune
good.
system. It's kind of funny.
All right, so how about a little cauliflower?
Absolutely. Cauliflower.
So
And what about a cauliflower? Are we buying organic or are we able to buy
organic,
regular?
you can buy regular like broccoli. So you can go to they're stinky because they've been in this bag.
Oh, they do smell like cauliflower.
If you go to the ewg.org and you look for the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, and you can see the vegetables that you should be buying organic and the ones you can get away with buying conventional.
But you're saying cauliflower, buy
Okay.
conventional. Don't waste the money and buy
I think it's
organic.
because things like cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli are so stinky, it keeps the bugs away.
I like
It's
that.
true, it's a thing.
And I learned that in your class, Michelle, and I used to spend the extra money buying organic broccoli and organic cauliflower, and clearly I don't need to do that. Until you told me, Michelle runs an 8-week class, that you learn about everything, down to, skincare. Now what is that? That's the fennel.
This is the leaf.
the leek
So you kind of have to make sure the dirt is out of the
stalks.
stalk. So I usually cut it in half and kind of pull it apart a little bit. Because if you just take it straight out of the package, it will. So this I got at Trader Joe's, but if you buy them in a grocery store, they're not in that. So they're like partially clean,
Okay.
but the ones from the grocery store can have a lot of dirt in them. So you have to.
Organic or just regular
No,
leek?
it's in the onion family, so things in the onion family you can get away with buying conventional. My goal is getting.
And I see you're just chopping them away pretty quick, and if I wasn't yabbering with you, you would have this done pretty fast.
Well, it's pretty fast still. Okay, I'm gonna put the oven on 375.
375. Now, a lot of people right now are experiencing a lot of heat, Michelle. Obviously, you're not going to have this in the oven too long.
No, and my oven doesn't really make the house hot. And if I was just making it for myself, I'd make it in a little air fryer toaster oven thingy. But since I'm making it for two.
And I just saw you snuck something in. What did you
Oh,
just
that's the red mint salt.
Ooh, red mint. That's got lots of minerals in it, right?
Pepper.
And salt, you're kind of just a little
Yeah, and then olive oil.
And your favorite is?
Well, this is, I usually buy something organic in small amounts
100% Italian, organic, extra virgin olive oil from Trader Joe's.
And there's a Greek one that I like too. So you want to be generous.
I like how you're doing it in the bowl so you don't have to lose
Yeah.
extra. And you're doing the hands. I think there's something about the hands that it adds some love into the food.
It does. Okay, so I'm just going to, I'm going to put it on the outer sides because I'm going to put the salmon.
And I just see a
In the middle.
cooking sheet here
Oh yeah,
with what...
parchment paper.
All right, let's talk about the parchment paper. Are you buying organic parchment paper?
There it doesn't exist. Okay, I need a little, can you take the lid, since my
indeed.
hands?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And just pour a little bit in there, in here. Yeah, the stuff on the little stuff on the bottom. And actually add a little bit more salt and pepper. While we're
Pepper
at
and
it.
we gotta do a little salt.
Just go back and forth. And you can use that one.
Okay, so we gotta have...
So that one's like,
Well, don't you want the,
it
don't you
doesn't
want the
matter.
Edmonds?
Dude, you can do some of that too.
Now, I know you said to me, Darcy, don't worry about the salt, because I'm like, Michelle, when I eat salty things, I swell up. And what have you told me about the salt? If you use good salt,
If you use good salt, because it's got other minerals, and it's, whereas when you just do salt, table salt, all the other minerals, all you're getting is sodium chloride. Whereas these salts that come straight from nature are other minerals, potassium and things that don't make you swell up.
and anybody can buy Redmond salt, even though that's something that we have local to Utah. Redmond. But if they're in California, they could buy it, say, online, or a lot of grocery stores have Redmond salt, correct?
I'll tell you an interesting thing about salt. So, Stacy was feeling dehydrated, and I said, you gotta put salt, like natural salt, in the first glass of water you drink in the morning. And so she started to do that. So I like doing like a pint of purified water and a quarter teaspoon to a half a teaspoon of salt. You mix it up. And that Redmond's doesn't dissolve, so you have to like mix it up and drink it down. But she says, do you, after drinking it for a few days, is it possible that she goes, my eyes are less puffy after I drink the salt? And I said, yeah, that's because the salt, when you're dehydrated, your body will retain water. But when you are holding on to water and you have the right minerals and salt, then your body will let go of it. So,
Well, that's an excellent tip. Again, Michelle is just a wealth of knowledge. And I didn't know that, and I know that I do puff up, but you're right.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the right salt, I won't. Well, I'm gonna have to try that, because I'm feeling a
I'm
little
gonna see if we can.
puffiness around the old eyes.
I think I want to just make it all.
Okay, we're making all the salmon, so if any of you want supper tonight,
Come on over.
Michelle lives in Midvale,
Midvale,
Utah.
on the border of West Jordan,
Midvale, Utah, on the border of West Jordan and near the Jordan River.
near Top Golf.
Near Top Golf. And I always kind of have to laugh when they talk about the Jordan River, because I'm from New York State, and back where I come from, we call the Jordan River a creek. But here we
I
call
know
it,
it's not very
we
big.
call it a Jordan River, and we're darn appreciative for that river.
And it stinks because there's a water treatment plant just up the.
I haven't smelled anything, but guess what? You got a wonderful thing. What do you got in your hands?
Do you remember I used this on the shrimp?
I love the name. Slap Your
Slap Your
Mama.
Mama. Okay.
Slap
I'm
Your
not
Mama.
getting. By the way, I'm not getting endorsed from Costco or Trader Joe's.
No.
But this is or Slap Your Mama or whatever, any of this stuff. But this is something, I love it. It's my favorite fish.
Slap Your Mama.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little room.
I'm just going to go to the camera to make sure everybody can see that.
Okay.
I think everybody can see that. That looks delicious,
Here,
Michelle.
I'm gonna cut this in half and just.
Mark wants to know what's in your glass, and he doesn't know you're drinking ginger ale today.
It's okay. Darcy didn't think I should admit to it, but it is a organic light beer.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I like how can you lift that up so they can
Yeah.
see that? Because the presentation is top notch.
Oh, let me put the lemon slices on it.
And I guess I could move it and then bring it back and just show like what you're gonna put in the oven.
Yeah. I washed this lemon. Let me wash my knife.
Now lemons. I know that what you have is an organic lemon, but what's your preference on lemons?
Whatever I can get. I just wash them well and.
What do you think? Heck,
It's got a big,
you know, why do you have, I mean, I know you wash the outside, but
there's a edible wax that they put on it to make them look all nice and shiny in the grocery store. They last longer than the non-organic ones. Okay, so I just made some, here, I'm gonna also put a tiny bit of olive oil on the salmon. The salmon's pretty oily, so you don't really need, I just kind of it's more for flavor. I love one pan stuff because then you've got your whole meal. And we're eating low carb tonight. Okay,
You want to tip it? Oh, Michelle,
how does that look?
it looks amazing. It looks amazing, and it's just going in the oven. And if she didn't have me yapping with her, it would be a lot faster. And how long is it going in the oven?
I'm gonna put it in for 15 minutes.
And at what temperature?
375.
Is it on bake or broil?
Bake.
Bake. That's it.
That's it.
Do we have to test the temperature of the fish? Just pull it
No.
out and eat it.
I can tell by looking at it. Like I said, it's pretty thin. And salmon, it can be a tiny bit. It doesn't have to be like totally solid, opaque. It's more of a, some people just don't like it like that, but I like it. I don't like it well done. So, and it's pretty thin, so it's not going to take, it's not going to take long.
now Michelle, we have 15 minutes, but I'm really curious because I like sweets. And I saw that you pulled out some lemon bars that you made previously. Can you talk about your lemon bars?
Oh, I have the recipe on my website. I made them, they don't look very good.
I think they look
It's
delightful.
just it's the dregs, and I made them for Saturday, and I put the fake powdered sugar on it before they were still warm. So, but anyway, this recipe is on my website, and it's so good. So use like 6 egg yolks. It's not low fat and low calorie, but it is low carb. It won't spike your blood sugar.
And you said you're going to link the recipes,
I
so
will link the
people
recipe
actually want to
for
make
this
it. And I think you've actually made that on Facebook, right? Where you've actually made the lemon squares and showed people?
No, I just have put my recipe.
Right. Now I noticed you just flipped your hair back. Would you like to give a shout out to anybody in particular?
You're the one who should give a shout out because James Hebe here in Salt Lake, hairdresser to the stars, or at least us. She just got her hair done by James today and looks super cute. Did he do your color too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did. Now, Michelle is the one that told me about James, and as you can tell, her hair looks fabulous.
It's getting close to needing a haircut, but I'm
Fabulous.
I'm trying to let it go as far as I can because I'm trying to let some stuff grow out myself. So,
Well, if you're in
Yeah.
Salt Lake City
and you need a haircut.
he is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the immune system. right now, as always, we want to make sure that our immune system is top notch, that we're doing what we possibly can. And I know you teach the classes because I took 8 weeks worth of classes from you, and what I love about it is you addressed everything. You addressed cookware, you addressed skincare, being that our skin is our largest organ. Do you have another one of those 8-session classes coming up?
I'm planning on doing that in August when the kids go back to school. Here is like the middle of August. And it'll be online. I think the evening time slot is the best time slot. The day is to be determined. And I'm thinking about letting men in. What do you think about that? Do you think it's better to just have women?
No, I think that it was a wonderful group, and I think men and women. I mean, whoever wants to actually learn some tips on how they can be a better consumer. I know you went into label reading, and I am so impressed, and I'm actually smarter and making better choices because of what I learned from you. You know what I mean? I felt very open, that I could ask questions that I had on my mind. You answered it. She would always give us homework before the class, and then we talked about that as well. And we even had a little bit of a test at the end, just to walk away from it.
Just to jog your memory of what you learned over the 8 weeks.
Absolutely.
Was the test helpful?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, just about, we all know to read labels, right? But Michelle actually pointed out the chemicals to look at on the labels that you don't want in your body. And it was...
Or on your body.
Exactly right. But I was so shocked to how many different things I liked that had canola oil in there, the cheaper oil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good for you, right? Canola oil.
No, none of those industrial seed oils like soybean, canola, vegetable oil, because it'll say vegetable oil is soybean oil, safflower, sunflower, corn oil. Can you think of anything else I'm missing? All of those industrial seed oils are highly inflammatory. Even though they have no saturated fat, doesn't mean that they're healthy. Just because they have no cholesterol doesn't mean that they're healthy. They're actually highly processed. They get oxidized in the process. They actually have to use deodorizers in them. They use hexene to extract the oils out of these, because you have these tiny seeds. You know, when you think about like avocado oil or olive oil, you've got like this pretty large sized fruit that you're smashing, and then the light, or it's not smashing that hard, and then the oil just oozes out of it. But those tiny seed oils are, when you think about it, where's the oil? Where's the oil in that thing? Right? So they're really dangerous. So really, sugar and industrial seed oils are the worst thing you can do for your immune system. And they contribute to insulin resistance, and being insulin resistant and being low in vitamin D, I personally think are the two things that are the most damaging for your immune system, and put you in that category where if you contract something like COVID, it makes it harder for you to fight it off. So, and that's something that I can assess for people. I can run some blood work and determine what your vitamin D level is. I can run some blood work to tell if you're insulin resistant. And if people want to learn more about insulin resistance, I have a video on my YouTube channel, and it's titled "Diet is a 4-Letter Word." Did you ever watch that one? It's kind of you would have learned this stuff in the class, but it's about a 30-minute video, and I think it's a lot. I actually rewatched it the other day, and I thought it was good information. And I don't rewatch all my videos and think, oh wow, that was good.
So how does someone get to your actual YouTube channel?
You just search for Michelle Sala on YouTube.
And you're a double L, Michelle.
Double L Michelle, single L Sala. Think of it salad without a D, or salsa without the S in the middle.
Now, I got a quick question for you because you have an Instagram, right?
I do.
And I was actually on your Instagram. How do I just for the people out there that are watching today, if they want to go to your Instagram and watch some of the videos you've done, how do they do it?
That's Michelle Sala Health. And I was showing Darcy. That's me. I was showing Darcy. I have 2 clients that just finished up my 90-day detox. One of them did it for an extra 30 days. But they're clients that were just finishing up, and I showed her my before and afters, and it was pretty impressive. They accomplished, one worked with me for about 90 days and the other one for 6 months. So depending on what you need. So with the True Cellular Detox, I don't really like to say it's 90 days because some people need longer, so it's a minimum of 90 days. But like the one guy, he only lost 4 or 5 pounds, but when you look at his before and after, he looks like he lost 20 pounds at least. And I've had other clients that they came to me and they wanted to lose 20 pounds, but when they did the detox and lost the inflammation, so they're eating an anti-inflammatory diet, and then they're doing the detox, which is a minimum of 90 days, they lost that toxicity, they lost that, I hate to call it water weight, but a lot of it is, they lost that cellular puffiness that people get when they're toxic. And that's why it's called True Cellular Detox, because it works on a cellular level. So it's not like some 10-day detox or 21-day detox. You can't, it took you more than 10 days or 21 days to get toxic. So you need to do a multi phase kind of detox in order to get the full benefit.
What are some of the positive things they're saying since they made that 3-month to 6-month commitment with you? How are they feeling?
Less brain fog, more energy, better mood. One was able to get off of some heavy-duty opioid painkillers because of some localized pain. So stuff like that, better mental clarity.
And you also encourage people to work with you one-on-one as well.
Right.
Just
so that's all. That's part of it. That's part of the program.
But if they don't really know about, they can just talk to you, and you can talk to them about what they're doing. That you maybe bring in some tips that can help them be a healthier, happier them. Right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a holistic, integrative health coach. So I do talk to people about what's going on in your life and what kind of stresses and some people have various challenges going on in their life that they either turn to food for comfort, and that can derail them, and so I help them with finding strategies that are not food related. And
well, on that note, there's a lot of people out there that have a fond relationship with pop, or some people call it soda.
Oh man, you are good.
But you I know were talking to me about how you want to help them through that pop or soda. I was married to a guy that loved his Diet Pepsi. All right, ate, drank, and slept it. And so I was really interested when you talked about your up and coming pop soda challenge. Can you tell them about that?
Well, I was thinking, because Utahns drink so much soda. We say soda in Utah. You say pop from where you're from. You know what? Let's take a little break, because I think I want to take out the salmon because it is a thinner piece, and let the vegetables get a little more crispy. Okay. So
I want to go to the camera to see if we can make sure that
we're
seeing that. If you can tip it a little bit our way. So wow, that's pretty much done.
That was only 3. It was more like 12 minutes. So I'm
okay.
going to take the salmon off and then do the.
It smells.
Does it smell good?
Delicious. And you didn't even squeeze the lemon.
No, I just set it on there. And it'll let's see. It'll cook a little bit more just being sitting around. actually, I think I will put it in a little. That piece, I think. needs
What
to
I
be-
love about you, Michelle, you're such a great cook that you don't measure anything. You don't check temperature on anything. You do
So
make.
I could tell when it kind of bent and I could see the cracks. It was like, okay, it's still a little red in there. So I'm just going to spread this.
The bigger piece you're gonna leave
I'm
in.
gonna leave the bigger piece and I'm gonna spread it out a little bit more, and
And then we can talk about the pop soda
Oh,
challenge.
The pop soda challenge.
That's one addiction I bypassed in this life. I have many others. But obviously here in Utah, as well as in other places, there's lots of different businesses that cater just to Actually, I think honestly, Utah. I've never seen places that were called Sodalicious, and
I
it's
know,
all
it's
about
soda
pop.
shops.
Yeah.
And everybody drives through, and I don't even know how it works. If it's like, I'm guessing it's like plain soda that you add various flavorings to.
So talk about your challenge, because I'm sure there's some people out there that would love to be part of it. If they could give that up, what a savings on sugar, chemicals, etc.
Oh, so just before I go there, I went to a lunch today, and some people brought in their own like 35-ounce
Big gulps?
big gulp kind of things. Yeah. So soda. So people might not be alcoholics here, but you can still have a non-alcoholic fatty liver from having too much sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup. And so if I did blood work on somebody and I didn't know their religious affiliation and that they didn't drink alcohol, but I saw certain liver markers, and I could tell if they have fatty liver, but I couldn't tell if it was from sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or if it was from alcohol. You can't tell the difference. So it affects the liver the same. So there's just so many things. Gabby's in the background being playful. You can come back over here.
Okay.
Soda just is one of those things that sugar will decrease your immune function. So if you catch something, it's just, and you're eating sugar all the time, it is just one of the worst things for your immune system is too much sugar. So whenever I bake, we mentioned the lemon bars earlier, I use erythritol and monk fruit sweetener combo, and it's like 4 grams of carbs for whatever the serving teaspoon. So it has some carbs, but it's way lower carbs. For a lot of people, it doesn't spike their blood sugar. If you're a diabetic, it just depends on you. So it doesn't seem, I know I've made some stuff for James, and it hasn't affected his, he's able to use less insulin.
Have you had success with some people that were like, hey, I drink soda pop every day and I don't want this in my life anymore?
Trying to think if I've had any hardcore soda people. And I think they had already quit soda before they started working with me.
But you got a challenge coming up. Tell me about this challenge.
Oh, yeah. So it's not set in stone. I actually put it out there on Facebook today. And I want to see how many people are interested. I will put a Facebook group together, and I thought I would start it July 5th, so the day after the 4th of July weekend, and do a 30-day no soda challenge. Because if you can go 30 days, you can go your whole life without it.
Absolutely.
And so I thought in this group, it would be a closed group, and we could help each other be accountable. I don't drink soda, but I could help give people some ideas. Like, so for for a lot of people, it's not so much the caffeine, but it's that fuzzy mouthfeel that they're addicted to. So I like to get people to start drinking things like Perrier or Pellegrino, and then you can add some, either a squeeze of lemon or lime, or I've got some of these essential oils like doTERRA or Young Living has essential oils that you can ingest. So not every oil company.
Now, so doTERRA, which one is that?
This one's Young Living Tangerine, and this is Ancient Apothecary. This is this one's hard to find. I have a wholesale account with them, so I order it.
But they could add that to their drink.
Lemon tangerine,
and
right?
it will have a taste.
Yeah.
And give them another choice over going through drive-through or whatever, and it's going to be better overall for their health, immune system. I love how
And if people are missing the sweetness, then I have them like wean off the sweet with like liquid stevia.
Okay.
So let's see how
Ooh,
it looks.
it's looking like that last piece of salmon is almost cooked. Michelle, it smells, it might be a little hot for Michelle right now. I'm sure her mascara might be baking. However, the bottom line is it smells absolutely delicious.
So see how the vegetables have a little color on them?
Can you bring them up and tip it up? Bring it back and just tip it up towards the old camera, Rue. Oh, boy.
Can you see it?
It's beautiful, Michelle. Just beautiful. And Mark says that I drink seltzer, no carbs, no sodium, no calorie, sometimes a squeeze of lime or lemon.
Yeah, Mark is good in that department.
Did he ever have a little bit of a thing for pop or soda?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him. I think.
Mark, did you ever have a challenge with pop or soda? Well, he's answering that, Michelle. Is there anything that's been in the tabloids this week? A tip that you wanted to share? I know you shared about Stacy having a little bit of that Redmond salt in her water in the morning, which is a great way because let's face it, all of the United States is having warmer temperatures than normal, and dehydration and making sure that you're hydrated is a critical front of mind topic.
But I want you to try this.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let's go over there.
What about you?
I'm gonna try it too.
Okay, what are we going to dig into?
No, just go for it.
Okay, I'm going to have a little piece of salmon. I'm going to take the skin because I have learned so much about how the skin is good for me. And I'm going to take a little bit of fennel.
Be careful, make sure you don't burn yourself.
Yeah, and I'm going to make sure I don't burn. My mother always said blow.
Good.
Mm.
That was super easy. You think you can do this?
Absolutely. Michelle, thank you. Is there any other things that you want to share? How they can reach you if this gets out there?
MichelleSala.com or go to GOMISSA.com. That's my landing page that describes my immune boosting program. And
Maybe we'll be able to cook another meal, something like this, something simple.
yeah, in a couple weeks, because I'm going to be house sitting up in Park City.
Okay.
Try a vegetable. Did you try one?
I had a little bit of, where's the fennel? No, not the
Right there.
fennel, I mean the,
The mushrooms are good. I should have made them all. And forget that they shrink. So,
mushrooms. They're delicious. I really think that this is a beautiful enhancement.
you just have to know how to control it because it can be spicy. But
Yes, I think I just had some mushroom with some of that spicy Cajun.
so the fennel isn't as it doesn't have that licorice smell
No, it
taste
doesn't.
when you cook it.
It was very good.
Thank you, Darcy.
Thank you, Michelle. And until we see you all again, bye for now.
Bye.